If you host events where you have vendors, come to the front because this is for you. This message is for people who host vending events. So we just vended at an event where there were probably about 500 or so people, and those people hardly shopped. Normally I don't post content about vending events because I've been on both sides of the equation. As someone who has ran a multi-city small business expo brand for over 7 years, and someone who has also vended and been on the other side of it for over 8 to 10 years, I understand both positions when it comes to events and vending. I understand the positions of the host, and I understand the position of the vendor. In fact, when we started our brand and launched our expo brand in 2017, it was based around the entire premise of having been a vendor and knowing how it is to participate in events and have bad experiences. And so we were committed to making sure that our vendors were a priority, that they were successful, in their vending. And when the economy shifted, when spending shifted, when things changed significantly was when we changed, right? Because we were not going to continue to put on these events and do the best that we could, but there were just so many contributing factors that made it difficult for those events to be a success. So nevertheless, now as someone who no longer hosts those events, but occasionally participates as a vendor, I am very selective about the events that we participate in, because again, I know what it takes, and I know generally when an event is going to be good or when it's not going to be good. And we decided to participate in this event today because we had heard great things about it, and other vendors had had great experiences. And so showed up, did what we do. You see my car is loaded down with vendor stuff as expected. But was extremely disappointed in what we experienced today. And it's a little bit of a different scenario, because normally when you hear people gripe about having bad vending experiences, it's because there were no people. Like, there was no marketing, people didn't show up, and so they had nobody to sell to. This experience was different. There were a lot of people there. There were, like I said, probably close to 500 people. That's what we were told, over 500. Sometimes those numbers are a little inflated. So I would say probably between 400 to 500 people were there, right? But those people were not given an ample of enough opportunity to shop, to patronize, to support the vendors. And as a result, most of the vendors did not have a good experience, were not happy, and left feeling really disappointed, us being one of them. And so this message is for people who host vending events, okay? Now, I've done classes, I've taught master classes on how to be a good vendor, how to maximize your experience as a vendor. That's not who this is for, because this is not about the vendors. This is about the people who host the events. I want to talk to you. Come to the front. If you host events where you have vendors, come to the front, because this is for you. Y'all have to stop having events and letting your vendors be an afterthought or side piece. It is wrong, it is distasteful, it is disrespectful, and it needs to stop, okay? We are not there to fund your event. We are not there to sponsor your events. We are there actually as an attraction, as a benefit for your attendees, so that they have a diverse experience, right? When you add vendors to your event, it's because, not only because you want vendors to have an opportunity to sell, but it should be because you want to give your attendees and those participating a good experience. So in addition to whatever speakers you're having, or whatever entertainment you're having, or whatever you're doing, they also can shop, because people like to shop. So you need to see your vendors as an added benefit, not just financially, but to your overall event experience. But when you don't do that, and you only use your vendors as a revenue stream, you are negligent in how you create your programming around those vendors. And what happened today is that the people were there. I didn't even know my phone had fell over. The people were there, but they were there for what the event was and not there to support and shop with vendors. And in fact, the little bit of time, and when I say little bit, I literally mean about like 10 minutes. The little bit of time that they were given, that they were told, oh, you have an intermission, go shop, you got 10 minutes. What can you do in 10 minutes? The little bit of time that they were given, there were some who wanted to stay longer, who wanted to shop longer, who wanted to look at things and couldn't because they had to run back to the main event. All right? And I just want to tell y'all need to stop doing that. Okay, the reason why you are struggling year after year to get vendors, the reason why you are having to raise your prices or lower your prices depending on how you approach it, the reason why people are not returning is because you are not making your vendors a priority. You are not being intentional in your programming to ensure that there is ample time for vending to happen. Vending should not be a side piece and it should not be an afterthought. It should be an integral part of the overall event experience. That means that you are intentionally carve out time for people to shop and to spend with the vendors. It means that you promote, that you announce the vendors, that you encourage people to go shop consistently throughout the event. It means that you showcase the brands, that you list who's there, that you make that information available, that you promote them prior, during, and after the event. So people can look out for who they want to shop with, and maybe if they miss someone, they can have a list and go back and shop with them. These are all things that we did when we had our expo brand. Now, were we perfect? Absolutely not. Was every single event, a huge success and everyone walked away with thousands? No, right? There are some factors that we have no control over. But what I can tell you is that we were always intentional about making sure that our vendors were a priority. Okay? And so I don't care how many people you have. You can have 25,000 people. If you do not make the vendors a priority for those 25,000 people, then your vendors will leave disappointed with little to no engagement in sales. All right? So, if you want to learn how to host an event properly for vendors, holla at your girl. Okay? I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Okay? But if you don't know what you're doing, just stop doing it. Stop saying, oh, we can have some vendors and they could pay $100, $200, $500, $1,000. We'll put them over to the side in a room and maybe they'll make some money or maybe some people will go shop with them. Stop doing that. It's wrong. It's disgusting. And you are not being supportive of the brands that you claim that you really are supporting. You're just using them as another revenue stream and it's not cool. It's not cool. I'm off my soapbox. I love y'all. Have a fabulous day. If you've had a similar experience, let's talk about it in the comments because it needs to stop. It needs to stop. And no, we're not hosting no expos no time soon. Bye.